What's up, y'all? This is Unapologetic, like where she don't come to play. And today we got a nice, juicy video. I guess I'm gonna switch it up. Hey, how are you? I'm good. You can hear me and see me. Good. Okay. So I was just doing my intro. Hold on. Okay, so yeah. So today we have a very special guest for our live today. And today we're going to be diving into some mystical topics. This is my introduction for me to do like more like taboo topics and stuff like that. So I have my special guest, Gabrielle, aka the Moon Minister, to help me give like her experience with spirituality and astrology and stuff like that. So yeah, you can introduce yourself and tell a little about yourself. You're kind of frozen.
Say it
You're
again.
frozen.
Hold up, let me.
You're good now.
But
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. So I got some questions. Because I always want to come prepared. So the first question, I know spirituality is new to people and they're not really, you know, too familiar what spirituality is. So in your version, what how would you describe spirituality? Mhm.
everybody's spiritual take isn't going to look the same. Some people, they're going to look to the stars and practice astrology, and some people, they may not do that. They may just, look to the earth. And I think it just really varies. But as long as you're like connected to source
Mhm.
by yourself, I feel like that the true definition is just connecting to source because, you know, I believe in reincarnation. This is not my first time
Mhm.
here. And what I've learned through that experience is that some people are, just different beings, different whatever. So they have different philosophies of how they see the world and what they came to
Mhm.
experience. So I feel like it
Yeah. That's a good definition. I like how you broke that down. Because a lot of people think just because you're not with a certain religion that you don't believe in God. Do you believe in God?
like I definitely believe.
Mm,
I don't want to hear none of that stuff.
right,
But
right. Them old
I
people,
think it's
the
just like
older folks, the
the
older generation, they don't play that new age. They call it new age.
they don't play that. But she is respectful, but when it comes to her house, she's like, "Nah, it's God in this house." But I feel like it depends on whatever, resonates with you. But I definitely believe in
Mm,
God. That's why I feel like, it's spirituality is different from like what's atheist. Yeah, where you don't believe in God.
mhm.
Because spiritual people do
Yeah.
believe in God.
Mhm.
We just don't
Believe it.
have a religion.
Mhm.
It's you know,
Yeah. We don't practice or believe in God or have a relationship with God like everybody else has a relationship with God.
Right.
Um and and another debunking I want to do, uh just because you're not with a certain religion, they deem us as evil.
Mm,
Why do you think we get
yes.
the, misconception of being evil?
It's definitely colonization. It's all control and colonization that started thousands of years just so that people can control one another. And when it comes to like demonizing of especially African, it could be any type of spiritual, just it's definitely a control
Mhm.
thing. If everybody follows the same religion, then it's easy for everybody to be controlled in that type of
Yeah.
way. So, and with everybody being spiritual, it's literally you, it's whatever pertains to you. So it's harder to control somebody who's connected to who they are
Mhm.
versus everybody's following the same thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like it gets demonized because of people wanted to control others thousands of years ago, and still to this day people try to control others
Mhm.
with religion and that type of thing. And I feel like all the rhetoric that came along with it is why it gets so demonized. Because I mean, really, a lot of, and my sister, she's a Christian
Mhm.
too, and she's like, a lot of things that you do I
Mhm.
do, and I'm like, it's literally all the same.
Right. Yeah. As far as like practices, like spiritual practices.
Praying and practices, going to an altar,
Mhm.
and she has her rituals, I have my own rituals. It's
Mhm.
definitely different, but like we're people, and that's the beauty that I love. Like my sister, she's a Christian, but she's realized she's not one of those Christians that's judgmental. She's realized, like,
Open minded.
what, spiritual people aren't as evil as people try to deem them to be. Like, my sister knows my heart, and she's like, yeah, people try to demonize y'all, but it's really not that if you actually know those type of people.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. It's true because I've even done like little research on. I mean, people consider them evil because of their title, but Satanism is another belief outside of Christianity. I don't necessarily believe in Satanism, but just doing, I like to like get knowledge of every belief just to see like where is everybody's head at, and I just see like that's their own little clan. They don't even they Bible is like don't hurt animals, don't hurt somebody unless somebody hurt you. They're like, hey, they're like a rebel against Christianity when I did my research. So it's just like everybody got their own little thing, got
Yeah,
their own little, you know, whatever they got going on is what they got going on. It doesn't mean that they're less than or they're above somebody. It's
right.
just what they believe in. So
That part.
yeah, before I get into the personal questions, I'm going to share it to my Facebook.
Okay. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard. Okay. I think things froze up for a second.
Okay. So now to the the personalized questions. So um okay, so where are you originally from?
I am from Ohio, born and raised right here in Dayton, my hometown, and I'm still here. I actually love my hometown.
Mhm.
I love that it's not two countries
Mhm.
in between.
That's good. It's better than that. Yeah, because
I
I'm gonna
can't.
see. I'm trying to get out of here. It's too much. Um, and do you feel like that environment it gives you more of a peace of mind because it's not too like congested with people?
I've been to New York and I've been to Chicago, but it's just like I got to be able to have a yard there, touch some grass, and be able to just walk directly outside and be in a
Yeah.
yard. So I like where my city is. Now there are different sectors I would love to like rural, but I have to still at least be like at the least 40 minutes away from the city because
Yeah.
I like balance.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. So, what do you do for a living?
Well, I do a little bit of everything for real. At one point I was a stay-at-home mom, and then I have like a cleaning independent service job that I do. I also offer readings. I'm an Aquarius rising. I do a little bit of everything. And organizing too, that comes with the cleaning. Anything where I'm transforming people from the inside or their homes is literally part of what I came here to do.
Nah, I feel you. You know your purpose.
Right.
And I definitely need to get a reading from you because I'm trying to sample everybody. But and I love promoting. I mean, I love investing into people who have something for themselves because a lot of people don't believe in their gifts. So when I see
Mm,
people, marketing their gifts, I like to support.
yes.
Um, what's not that question? How did you get in? No, how? What drawn you to this path of spirituality?
I've really been spiritual since I was like a little kid. Like my dad used to sell drugs and my mom was like his bottom, chick.
Mm,
So like
ride or
they
die.
didn't raise us in the church.
Mhm,
So I was always just out in the grass meditating. I remember I learned about meditation and when I was little. So I really had my own path up until when my mom and dad split and my mom ended up doing some time
mhm,
and we lived with my grandmother. That's when I we started getting religious. That's when she got us baptized and everything. She was like, and this but and that kind of threw me off because for a minute I was atheist when my mom finally got us back.
mhm,
I was atheist because I that just traumatized me, that whole situation. Like I
mhm,
went from being able to control my dreams as a child to like
mhm,
having sleep paralysis. So like
mhm,
it traumatized me and when I found so it made me atheist. But once I met my husband 10 years ago, when it was 11 or 12 years ago, when I was like 18 or I was 18 turning 19. That's when I met him. That's what made just really triggered it for me because being together, it made me think like, what's our philosophy in our relationship? Like because we were both spiritual, but back then, like we were just doing whatever. So it made me
mhm,
start to think like, what do I believe in? And then one day we went into like a crystal shop and it just like everything I knew when I was a kid literally snapped back to me. And like
mhm,
I restarted my spiritual journey then. That's when because I like to say I've always really been spiritual, but I got thrown off that path
mhm,
and it recharged when I became a young adult and I just remembered everything again.
mhm. If you don't mind me asking, how long was the transition you being with your grandmother to you going back?
Oh, I don't mind. I've actually shared it on other platforms that before. So it was a year that we lived with my grandmother. And I also shared that my mom I used to like talk to the moon. That's why I call myself the moon minister.
Mhm,
And I remember my mom, she was supposed to do 2 years. But I remember we went to visit her one time and she had asked me if I still talk to the moon, and I had told her no, I don't do that no more. And she was like, well, I need you to do that for me because I don't have a window in her where she was at. I don't know if it was her cell or what, or if she was
mhm,
bunking, but she said she didn't have a window. So she was like, she wanted me to do it. So I kept, communicating to the moon and she ended up getting released. She did, I think she did like a year and a month or something.
mhm. And then you went. So when you left her, so before she got locked up, you were
Hmm.
spiritual, or you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then
Oh
when she got
yeah,
locked up, it stopped.
snatched. Yes,
So
because
maybe
my grandmother,
because
she
of the
put us in
trauma,
church.
the energy of the events, like disturbed your spirit, which is why you felt out of place. But I'm trying to like sense like was it the was it her getting locked up that triggered you like not to like believe what you was believing before, or do you know like what actually triggered it?
And my dad, and when they split apart, and then learning like, oh, my mom got to leave too. It was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my god. And
Mm-hmm.
then the stuff that my mom, like my mom, and loving, and she don't care what
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
you tell you to do, and that, so that huge shock. Like my mom would buy us stuff that would, like, whereas my nana was like, oh no, you're gonna get what I'm gonna give you.
Mm. Yeah, I feel you.
And my mom, she had me at 15. She had me young, so I know that her and her mom had,
Mm.
issues.
No, I definitely understand because as you know, I don't have a great relationship with my mother. So I feel like once the mom is like removed out of the picture, you
Hmm.
kind of like you're like lost. Cause I was lost. I was
Literally,
like lost for
literally.
a long time, like years. I was just like trying to figure myself out, was like out of it. But once you get yourself back, it's just like, okay, you got your sense of peace, and then you're like back to self again. And then everything starts
And you
coming
got to
to like you
think
said.
like, your mother is like your first physical guide. That's the
Hmm.
person that guides you. And if your mother isn't on that same vibe with you, it'll literally make you lost.
Yeah,
And you have to reparent yourself,
that's
remother
true.
yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing right now, reparenting myself. But it takes time. It takes time. So,
Yes.
so, my next question: what is your belief?
My beliefs, I would consider myself omnis, where like I see the truth in everything. I see the connection between it. I don't need to argue with nobody, be like, oh, this is what's, I don't need to do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just, if you believe in what you believe in, as long as you're not forcing it up on me,
Right.
as long as you're not hurting nobody, it is what it is. So I just believe there's truth in everything. Have, because we all to experience something different. I don't, even though my lifetimes have been similar to one another, really still been different each time.
Mm-hmm. So, were you ever a Christian?
I it was Now when I lived with my nana, I was, she had us in the church, but I was rebellious to all of it. I was just adult, and I was with my husband, and one of my coworkers had invited church and going with me, and we went like 3 times, and then that the fourth time he was like, yeah, I can't go. He's like, I support you and I love you, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, but that's not my faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then I it got me thinking like, dang, well, I don't want to go if you're not going.
Right.
I was just going because to keep up the image,
Mm-hmm.
a young couple. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm really just doing this to keep up an image. I need to find what really resonates with
Yeah,
me.
I like that. I like how you had the openness. Like you didn't have people like, oh, this is you shouldn't be doing this. Da-da. Did you have those type of people that said that you shouldn't be following this path?
Now, my nana, she especially when I was atheist, she hated, mom had told her, and my mom was like, you can't be inviting her because she don't believe that. My nana she was like, no. But she has since, my nana has been on a healing journey herself,
Mhm.
and she has grown so much. But before then, yeah, when I first started my healing journey, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Like, but she wasn't going too hard, you know, a little snippet here and there, but she was hard because going too hard is what resulted in my mom running away from her. So she know that she couldn't go too hard with me because I'm my mama times
Right.
two, so it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't be controlled.
But she's since healed from that because she invited me one time to this holistic event, and that's where I even started calling Moon Minister because she shared that she got my mom's name from a prophetic
Mm,
dream, and I was like, and we got to sharing our dreams. I'm like, wow, I have similar dreams
mm,
too. I'm like, this is really lineage, our dreams, because my mom has those dreams
mm,
too. I'm like, wow. And that's when I started connecting the two to the moon. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start being the moon because like this is really lineage for me.
mm. And that's a good question. I mean, that leads me into my next question. How did you know that you were spiritually gifted?
My nana,
Yeah.
with her being a Christian, and then because here's the thing, my nana, she watched her mom. She literally watched her mom die in her
Mm,
arms. So I
mm,
see why she was traumatized, and she watched them young, and then they got split up and moved to Dayton, Ohio,
mm,
and her she built her faith off of
mm, mm,
had ended up passing, and my the main to that holistic event is because my nana Rob
mm, mm, mm,
describing it to me, and
mm, mm, mm,
when it comes to these dreams because it's not just something I'm imagining. Like there's really
mm.
something here when it comes. Like people are really trying to connect to me in these dreams.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because I let my nana know that in the dream, her aunt Cora, she was sitting on a rocking chair and she was telling everybody what to do. She looked so at home and so at peace. And then
Mm,
my nana, she started crying like that's what she wanted to hear from the Native American tarot. I don't know, reader. That's what she wanted to hear is
mm,
her aunt at peace. And I was like, yeah,
mm.
she definitely at peace in her element, literally at home.
She running stuff on the other side. um, I don't know if you mind sharing, but um, do you know what your gifts are? Like, do you know what your gifts are? Are you still
Yes,
developing
it's
some?
definitely, huh?
Or are you still developing some?
Definitely still developing it. And I was just talking about that, like, because I had a dream last night and I was like, I wish I could control it, especially in the
Mm,
daytime. Like I was like, if I could control this in the daytime, I'd be powerful like Teresa or Tyler or one of them.
mm.
But I get when I'm at nighttime, when the moon
That's
is out,
me
it
too.
just
That's me too. I get all my messages late at night, wee hours in the morning.
literally. Hi, beautiful.
Hi. What are you doing?
So,
I'm talking.
Am I talking?
um, I already asked you who influenced your belief. How did you get into astrology?
I got into astrology after my Saturn return like 2 years ago because I rejected it at first because I had got like a reading that had said that I would have to wait until like until like my 30s or something. I think I was like 24 or something to like really come into who I was. And I didn't want to hear that at that time. I did not want to hear that. So I rejected it. But
Mm, mm.
baby. 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 Kids.
It's okay. So so 2 years ago, how long fully did you start astrology?
It was March of 2023. That's when
Mm,
I started saying like I need to stop playing because and start really studying. And I really started like practicing it, just self-taught stuff. Like I'll go to a webinar, a free webinar or something, or I'll watch some videos. And then I had ended up winning a free reading from another astrologer, and she was reading my chart. She was like, "You definitely have the chart of someone who's supposed to practice this,
mm,
even a job um,
mm,
through her." And even right then at that moment, I was still hesitant because I was like, I still have so much more I need to learn.
mm,
But that's when I was always seen that, and astrology is connected to Aquarius, and I'm an Aquarius
mm,
rising. So like I've always known that, I was supposed to have it in me and really developing it on my own because I'm like, one thing I do love, I love experiences. I
mm,
love how everybody experiences, and I love how we can really track it through astrology.
mm. Yeah, tells a storybook of our own lives.
Literally, and I'm a writer, so I love story. I literally, that's the main reason why I love astrology is because it's like you're literally telling the story that's written in the sky.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
It's mommy
Um,
day.
Mhm.
and you kind of already asked that. I mean, answered that question. Do you use it astrology for yourself? You said yeah. Um,
Mhm.
how did astrology and spirituality change your life?
Mm. Healing, very healing, because it helped me see just the cycles that were playing out not only in my life but in my mother's life, because I've looked into my mom's chart and looked into my nana's chart and just noticed like there's been this theme of abandonment,
Mm,
where like abandonment or death,
mm,
and realizing that after having my own kids, like I'm not repeating that.
yeah.
Like I'm not being taken away from my kids,
Mm,
because it's always been something like generation after generation where either a mother dies or a
mm,
kid leaves or a parent abandons them or a parent has
mm,
to go to, been something happening literally woman after
mm,
woman, and I literally had to go
mm.
in order to break it.
That's funny because I have a cycle with the women in my family as well.
Baby, I'm on the phone, baby.
Baby, go, go, baby.
And I feel like it's like pressure on the women because the patriarchy took the spiritual side out of everything. So we kind of have to like readjust to being feminine again. Because I grew up with a very masculine mother. My mother was a worker. She wasn't very emotional. So I didn't really know what love and stuff like that really felt or
Yeah.
any of that. So I was when I got into this, I was kind of like love searching, but all the love was within me, and that's when all the answers and stuff
Yes.
came out. So I feel like women in particular have a bigger job because we are like directly connected to God, and that's what
Literally.
society has like taken out because they like shunned women. I remember seeing a TikTok saying how they was calling women witches for anything. They literally could do anything. They was calling them witches.
Yeah.
So they really, I feel like back then men were like jealous of women's gifts. So we kind of have to
Literally.
teach ourselves how to be divine, like be connected to divine again, because I feel like we spiritually are the leaders because
Yeah.
men think on a physical level and we we think on a spiritual level. And when our women in our family aren't, connected, it kind of just like destroys the generation. So I feel like
Literally.
you're doing a great job doing what you're doing, because it ends now. And the cycle ends now, the chain ends now. And I feel like what we're doing now is building the generations to come and setting the platform and the foundation to be free to be yourself. So spiritually we can be connected, because that's all that matters now. Like, it's not money, it's not fame, it's not all that. It's being connected to the mind, the spirit, and the body. And a lot of people take the
Absolutely.
body out. Take the body out. So I mean, take the mind, the spirit out, and just focus on the body and the mind. But the spirit is just as important as everything else.
Mhm. That really hit home for me,
Mm,
because I know with my great great grandmother, she had 7 girls, but they all hated each other. They
mm,
had rifts,
mhm,
and it caused like this just distortion where everybody is there and there. And that's why I'm so intentional when it comes to me and my sisters and our relationship.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Mom
The
and
mother,
our
yeah,
aunt don't talk to each other.
yeah.
And they was like, whoa, I just now noticed that. I was like, yeah, that's why we have to be intentional with our
Mhm.
sisterhood, like, because we can't continue
Yeah,
this.
yeah, because it honestly affects everybody, because once the family
Literally the
feuds,
whole
everybody,
family.
it's like it trickles down. Because yeah, my grandmother was a hard one, and I don't feel like anybody messed with her. That's what I'm saying. All the females in my family were masculine, so I didn't really get
Mm.
that, tight, close
The nurturing
feeling.
that's needed.
Yeah, so I feel like that's why I cater more to women, because women need to see their selves. They don't need to see themselves in a
Hmm.
man. They don't need to see themselves in a job. They
Yes.
don't need to see themselves in anything besides what they see themselves as. And a lot of
Right.
women are losing themselves in the physical,
Mhm.
into worldly things, into being something that they're not. And
Literally worldly things.
a lot of people are losing their lives because of it. So that's why I want people to be more aware of their spiritual side, because I want people to know, if you can just put your mind to whatever you putting yourself into, you can accomplish anything that you want. You don't need a middleman. You don't need to go outside
Literally.
yourself. All you need is God and your ambition. So for the people that think that spirituality is I don't know what people be thinking, but they just really think that we need to be burned on the stake just because we
Right.
don't believe in the white Jesus y'all got on the dresser. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own belief, but I feel like as long as you're connecting to yourself, and as long as you're connecting to that inner voice, you can go very, very far. Because I actually
Literally.
grew up thinking that I needed to get the approval of my mother, or get the approval of other people, and get the
Mm.
validation to make myself feel good. But I started realizing all that starts with me. All that starts with my connection with God. As long as God sees me in his likeness, that's all I care about. So when people are stopping themselves because of other people's validations or opinions, it really breaks my heart, because there's a lot of things that could go better, but they're scared to speak up. They're scared to be themselves. They're scared to be different.
Literally.
So,
Literally scared.
yeah. So, what is your advice for anybody that is just joining or just finding this path?
My advice is that find yourself, really look into what, because it don't matter if you are whatever religion or faith you are, people go through things. People have experiences that shake them, that rock them. And if you go to source within yourself, whatever that looks like for you, because I know some people they'll join their spiritual journey and then they'll get traumatized and they'll be like, okay, I need to go back because I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I've seen Christians go through things. It's the experience. It's what you really have to find yourself, because and I don't shade people who end up going back to religion. I feel like, it's whatever, because some people, they came to this earth to be controlled, or to not necessarily be controlled, but to follow what feels right for them, and to serve too, because some
Right.
in this lifetime, because you have to do. But I feel like if you truly came here to be free, you are going to follow that spiritual path that is yours, and you got to know that you came here to be ex- to excel or evolve your soul or whatever you are. And you really have to just really know that freedom is yours, because you'll fall religion if that's not for you. If you came here to serve this lifetime, you will fall back into religion.
And that reminds me of a lot of YouTubers that be like New Age to Jesus, no, Jesus to New Age, and then they go back to Jesus, but not knowing that you're still lost. You're coming on here and you're putting on the front and you still don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are getting misguided by these people because they don't know who they are. So you following this person, they don't even know what's going on. They don't know what they got going on for themselves. How can you follow somebody they don't know what they got going on for themselves? So you're confusing the masses and you're confusing yourself.
Literally. It's like that. I just let it be, because people, I end up, I've seen people like that where I just like, okay, I'm gonna unfollow.
Yeah.
More power to you, but I'm gonna go ahead and unfollow.
There's a lot of people that don't stop watching because of that. I was like, wait a second. No,
literally.
and there's like this one YouTuber. She does tarot reading, but she's a Christian. And I'm like, well, how does that work? I'm like, I thought they shunned you doing
to find herself.
I'm like, I don't know, but it's a lot of confusion. So it's like,
it is.
You gotta be careful who you get information from and who you watch, because all that influences the mind as well. Because these people be lost. I stopped like once I started realizing who I am, I stopped fantasizing about these celebrities and YouTubers on that stuff. Because I used to like, oh, I want to be just like them. Da, 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 da. Then when I started realizing I could do that myself, I was like, yeah, forget these people. And I started seeing people for who they really are. And I'm like, people are frauds. So you got to see past the facade. You got to see past the mask and see people for who they really are.
Literally, because people are definitely, the level of loss is crazy, especially the last couple of years, and we definitely about to come into a new reckoning when especially just it's already written in the stars as far as like humans come into a realization of like who we really are. Like a lot of people, and I've spoken to my sisters about reincarnation, because they're like, what? But I'm like, I can't, if we don't chat, I'm not about to sit up here and pretend like
this
I'm
ain't
not
real.
who I am. Like this, and it's crazy because I don't remember my sister. But the only remember my husband. Like I don't know if they're new to me. Well, I know they're new to me, but like because I don't remember them. But like I let them know who I am. Like I'm Jabrielle, but I'm also the moon minister. I'm having my own spiritual journey, and the things that I go through. If you want to know what's going on with me, you've got to know what's the root.
Yeah, exactly. Because what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Try again. Dang, I was gonna say something. Yeah, I just forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah. I was gonna say, what the shift? Because you already started talking about it, but where do you see the world? Like, what's the shift that you see coming for this world? Because, like you said, I already see the shifts going on. I'm getting downloads daily of the world. So, like, what do you see in these years to come?
So we just left. We're like in the early stage of Pluto and Aquarius, and I shared a video on that got like a lot of views on there. I think it got over like 5,000 something views, about Pluto and Aquarius and how it's like a 20 to 40-year transit, and how it's going to prepare us to go into the next 40 years of like spiritual evolution. But we just came from like years of literally like people believing in what, the old way,
We were
like
blinded. Had a
religious and,
wall.
literally confusion and control. And we're stepping into a phase with Pluto and Aquarius where for the couple of decades, people are going to be waking up, and not only that, people are raising their kids, and that's why it's so. They went off and they were monks, and they lived on their own. But the new generation of spiritual people, we're having kids because we need to teach our children in order to go into the next phase, which will be Pluto and Pisces. That won't be until like 2044. But that is when people really, that's when spirituality, religion is going to be going to be the minor thing. Spirituality, everybody following their own true path.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. My aunt, I got female pastors in my family, which that's why I call myself the moon minister, because I come from female pastors, but I'm just not the same as them. And my aunt, she was saying like, people don't follow the faith anymore. People don't follow the faith. And I was like, people are following their own faith.
Exactly.
Everybody, I told her, I know that you see your path as the only way.
That's not realistic. Like, you know how big the
Literally
world
not
is?
realistic.
You really think that there's only one way to go? No. It's impossible.
They really think it's only one way.
But to add on to what you said, I do see like more, because you see how all these influencers are like dropping like flies, and a lot of people are getting exposed. I feel like right now all that is happening because they're making room for the more conscious people to come in, and more people who really are authentic, because there's a lot of fake people out here. It's making more room for authentic people.
Follow them people.
And even the movies. I remember when I used to get I used to get bullied on social media. I used to bully on social media because I used to say these celebrities practice witchcraft. These celebrities are putting you under a spell. Everything's a lie. Literally, everything's a lie. I used to be bullied for years, years, until it actually came out and everybody started respecting me because, listen, I told y'all before it happened. It's like
The truth.
They think that you have to be in the room to understand what's going on. No, if you pay attention, if you put two and two together, you're gonna see what's right in front of you. And
Literally,
what people don't understand is everything is symbolic.
literally.
The higher ups, they speak in code. They speak in numbers, they speak in symbols, they speak in pictures, they speak in handshakes, everything. So if you don't know the code, you're not gonna understand what they're doing right in front of you. And what they're doing is putting us in a spell, and everybody is getting off of that spell now and seeing life for what it really is.
And we'll see more of that going into 2044. It's a long transit, but it took us a long time to get here. It's gonna take us a long time to get up out of it. I think it's beautiful. I love seeing spiritual people have kids. Like, I love that because it's like we're literally raising the next generation of liberated people. Like, I love that for us.
And if you really think about it, they have just as much spiritual gifts as we do. Because my son, he's very intuitive.
Literally.
He be knowing stuff like, because sometimes when I say something, the TV says something, I'd be like, what the heck? And then it started happening to him. I'm like, wait a second. And he will like guess something before they say, I'm like, bro, you intuitive too. My son's
Tapped on
intuitive.
in.
and my daughter has like lucid dreams. She has very vivid dreams. So
Mm,
I'm teaching them young. I'm teaching them. I don't care
yes.
anybody saying. I'm teaching them spell work. I'm teaching them how to protect themselves. I'm teaching them the word of manifestation
Yes.
and how to speak things into existence, because it starts now. If I would have known this when I was their age, I would not be where I am right now. I would be a lot
Right.
farther where I am right now. But it's a cycle, and that we have to change it. It didn't start with me, but it's gonna start with my kids.
Right. It's something so sacred because I've seen some people try to down talk being a mother or something like that. And it's like, as far as in the spiritual community, I'm like, you have no idea how sacred it is to be a mother, to raise a
Mhm,
child in divine order that they were meant to be raised in so that they can change and affect the world in a different way. Like it's so sacred being a mother. And my son triggered me to like start doing spell work because I was on my spiritual journey. It wasn't until I was pregnant with my son that I started doing spell work because
mhm,
my dreams got so intense and I started seeing like stuff that just I couldn't explain in my dreams. I'm like, yeah, I got to start doing spell work because there's some things that need to be corrected and
mhm,
that I've been seeing.
mhm. Yeah, and I feel like it grounds you, because I feel like
Hmm.
it was a point in time where I fell off. Like I was like
Hmm.
heavy on the moon cycles. I was doing my releasing when the full moon came, new moon. I was doing all of that, but then I stopped because like I think around that time I was dealing with my mom's stuff. And then I see the difference from when I was really heavy on it, and then when I stopped doing it, and I had to get back on it, because if you're not centered, if you don't know how to ground yourself, you're gonna be easy to react to stuff, and you're gonna be easy to get out of character. So I realized when I wasn't doing what I was doing, I was very out of place. So I feel like people need to see that everything's a spell. Everything we say is a spell. Everything we do is a ritual. Just because they don't say it's a ritual, or just because they don't say it's a spell, don't mean it's not. So I want people to realize it's already a thing. It's not something we just making up and we just brought into this world. All this stuff has already been here. Our ancestors been practicing before there was a church. Our slaves, the slaves were jumping the broom for marriage. They wasn't in the courthouse getting married and all that. That's a spiritual ritual they did
It's
to
literally,
to show their union. It's like people who need to understand everything is spiritual. Not it's not just
literally.
it just happens. All everything is meant to happen. Everything happens for a reason. And to talk about the mother thing, I seen this girl on TikTok talking about you shouldn't be having kids if you're broke and this, that, and the third. I'm like, because I really wanted to make a video. I'm like, why are you coming on here shunning women? Like, what you want them to do? Get rid of the baby? Like, what's the purpose of you coming on here saying that?
I
Like,
love that you said that too.
because at the end of the day, everybody has a reason. So you don't know how people grew up. You don't know what people's purpose is. You don't know what came up of their pregnancy, around their pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? So mind your business. Stay in your place.
And you know what? So I love that you said that too because people don't understand that, and this is just the physical, and then I'm gonna get into the spiritual on it. People don't understand that when you begin and you have a kid, whether it's you're married or you're not, or you're rich or you're not,
Mhm.
like you could be rich, and it's so crazy. I love that you said that. You could be rich and your kids can literally hate you. Because I
Exactly.
promise you, that was me in the
Mhm.
last lifetime. I was a terrible mother. I was rich. My kids had everything, but I was
I got the same thing
terrible.
too.
I
That's.
was terrible as a mother. My kids did not speak to me anymore
Mhm.
as an adult.
Mhm.
So, and I've seen someone speak on that, like, "Oh, your child isn't. How could you call your child a blessing if you have them and you're not rich?" And it's like, as long as you love that child and you raise them in divine order, the way that they're
Mhm.
supposed to be raised, as far as the
Right.
love and the connection
Mhm.
and source, it doesn't matter if you are rich or you are poor. That child is going to love you, and they are going to mold into who they need to be. You can be rich raise a child and they be lost because you didn't guide them correctly, you didn't love them correctly.
And it's
And
funny
then
I said
children, some
that same example, because a lot of these rich people kids be strung out on drugs. So for even for
speak
that
on
to
it.
even be a thought, it's like that doesn't make money doesn't make the child.
They not consciously, they still got a lot of learning to do. I delete people when I see them
Mm,
relate to stuff like that, because I'm
yeah.
like, they still got a lot of learning to do,
Mm,
because it's never been about, of course, world money matters, yes
mm,
it does,
mm.
but who you are spiritually matters even more, even
Right.
more, because the money will follow. If it's supposed to be there, it will literally be there.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I had to realize that when it, because I that dream came to me, and that's how I knew I was pregnant with a boy. Because I'm like, I raised him in this opolis, but when I tried to call him, he
Mm,
wouldn't answer the phone. He told
mm,
me like, I don't ever want to speak to you again. And
mm,
it's like, it's so beautiful for us now, because like, I'm so intentional
mm,
with when it comes to raising him, because that was the main child that I had rift with. He was born into this lifetime with karmic things
mm,
that he needed to heal,
mm,
and I had to have those dreams so I could see where I went wrong, where I caused these things, so that I can repair that in this lifetime together, so that
mm.
we can rise together.
Yeah.
And people just don't, people that they don't understand.
Mm. Yeah. That's true. And ignorance. It's very much ignorance. Because I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, if your child is raised right, they're gonna be a. There's a lot of celebrities that be like, my mom didn't have much, but she loves me. That's all I think.
And they done bought their mama house and everything.
Exactly. So I'm like, it's like people need to understand. Like everybody is here for a reason. Nothing is a mistake.
Literally a
Nothing is a mistake.
reason. Nothing.
And you don't know where their path is and where they've been before. So everybody needs to focus on themselves and do what God has for them.
Yes.
So there was something else I wanted to say. I think another one came out of my head, but um do you have any final thoughts?
I really love that last conversation, because I was literally thinking about that too. Because I was like, man, Christmas is coming up, which it's something that I practice because my ancestors literally joy. My ancestors already told me, girl, don't you dare stop practicing Christmas. Like, hosting, joy, family getting together is something that
Mm.
runs in our bloodline. Don't you dare, just because everybody else is.
Mm.
Are always going to have great influences, but it made me think about like how you'll be stressing or thinking about, okay, you want to do that, but at the end of the day, they are literally being raised in divine alignment,
Mm.
and people just got to really focus on them. What,
Mm.
stop judging other people on you
Mm.
and what you came here to do.
Yeah.
I promise you did not come here to judge
Right.
people. I
Exactly.
promise you that was not on, unless you came here to be religious,
Hmm.
then you might have been here to judge people.
Right.
But if you are on a spiritual path, you did not come here to be judgmental.
Mm.
You came here to be free.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I want people to take from this, is to find what resonates for you, what honors you and your ancestors or your spirit guides, your team. Find that and express that.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, I like that. T. So to piggyback on the Christmas thing, I feel like I'm at this stage where I don't care about tradition. I don't care about these mainstream holidays anymore. I'm doing things my way. If I don't feel like, I mean, just this Thanksgiving, I didn't feel like cooking. I said, I ain't cooking. And just so
Ain't nothing
happened, my
wrong
husband was
with it.
like, "Oh, I have a day off. Do you want to go?" I said, "Hell yeah," because I don't feel like
Hell
cooking.
yeah.
Like I'm cooking every day. Now I have to cook extra on this day. No, I'm done. So at this place where this is my life. I'm gonna do things my
Literally.
way, and I'm not gonna let this society eat me alive. and run me dry. It's not happening. So yeah.
That's what I came to that realization. Like, ain't no point of stressing about what they gonna get. They're always gonna receive blessings. So it
Mhm.
does not matter.
As long as you're doing what you have to do with God. And it's
Literally.
like it took me so long to realize, because for so long God's been like, you need to get on camera, you need to get on camera, you need to get on camera, you need to put yourself out there, put your story out there. But I've been so scared of what people would say about me, being judged, and especially dealing with my mother issues. Is like all I can hear is her,
Yeah.
negative talk in the back of my head. When I realized, like, none of that matters. Like, none of this matters except for what is God telling me to do.
Literally.
And once I started listening, and once I started putting myself out there, I started seeing the changes. I started seeing myself grow and having more confidence in myself. And then I started seeing people really be inspired by what I do because I believed in myself. So all I want people
And
to
I've been
know,
seeing that. You be getting them views on your YouTube. I be seeing that.
girl, I'm telling you, I'll be on that astrology transit readings. I'll be late at night. But yeah, it's it's a working process. I want people to know it's a working
Literally.
process. Don't rush it, but follow your
Literally.
intuition. Your intuition will never steer you wrong. As long as you listen to your intuition, if your intuition tell you post it, then you post it. Okay? If your intuition saying stop talking to that person, stop talking to that person. Because God sees what we
Okay.
don't see. And there's a lot of people that had to exit out of my life. I had to remove people out of my life because they were just distractions. And
Literally.
I don't have time for distractions at this time. I'm getting older. I'm 30 years old now. Time is of the essence. So once I don't even give people strikes. One strike, you out. No more than two, three. No, you gotta go.
Gone.
You got to go. So it was a pleasure having you.
Yes.
I welcome you back whenever. And I hope we can do this again. And have
Yes. I love the conversation.
yes. And both cancers, and I feel like we both relate to a lot of things.
Yes.
I relate to some of your things, and we need to do this more. We need to start,
Yes.
putting more knowledge out there and just get these people together.
Literally. Educate them.
Yeah. So you have a good night, and
You too.
we'll see you, I guess, next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.